Hello, it's Rebecca here from Precious Pages Papercraft, and today I'm designing a layout for Bramble Fox, and I'm working with the December Fox box, and I've also got Fox cut number 26 that I'm going to use on this layout, which is the gorgeous snowflake stencil that's just been released. So I've got a couple of photos today of my little boy drinking hot chocolate recently up at Blenheim Palace. We went for one of their evening kind of light trails where they have all the grounds of the palace are all lit up. It was a Halloween trail, but really cold, so lovely hot chocolate was in order. So I've cut those into circles. I'm going to have them over on the left there. I'm going to use the pink words that you can see here from the Fox box. You get 3 words in total that are pink. I'm going to make my title Cosy Cocoa, and I'm also going to bring in the word fun as well. And a couple of those adorable ice skating creatures. I think you get 4 in total in the box, and they are just the cutest thing ever. And they've got such beautiful etched details on them, like little scarves and buttons, and their feet and ears and things are all etched. They're really cute. So I'm going to use a couple of those as well. So I've pulled out Carter Bella's Winter Market collection from last year, and I think this collection works beautifully with those little ice skating creatures. There's a few of the papers and stickers have got little like skating penguins and I think foxes and things on, and rabbits. So if you've got this collection, these the Fox box bits would work perfectly with that. And I've torn a strip of one of the papers for the left hand side of my page, and I went for this paper because it's got all the colours that I wanted. It's got the green leaves match my little boy's gloves. He's wearing a blue scarf and there are tones of blue in that paper. And I also loved it because it had little hints of pinks. There's little light pink flowers in it, which work really well with the little words I'm using, the acrylic words from the Fox box. So that was a perfect choice for me. So I've got that over on the left hand side. I've also cut some snowflakes using metal dies. They were left over from a layout I made last year and just happened to work really well. So I've layered those up and got a few of those. And now I'm just die cutting some little kind of like branches using a metal die from my hip kit this month. I think I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think 7 in total, and I use the pattern paper that I've got on the left there, and then I use a lighter paper. So you can see I've just got a little bit of it on the left of the screen there, just to bring in a bit of contrast and just different shading really. And I'm going to have those going diagonally through my photos, kind of like making a square. So I've got 2 photos diagonally, and then the other way I've got those leaves coming out, and I'm going to layer up my title on top of those branches there on the left hand side. I'm just having a play now, trying to see where I want things to fit. I really wanted to use that little grey skating bunny. I thought it worked really well with the paper, but it was just facing the wrong direction. If only if he was facing the other direction, he would have been perfect. But I've had to save him for another layout, and I'm going to use the, I think it's a polar bear or a little bear skating instead, because the colour works really well with my perspectives on the words. So I've also used Fox Cut 26 there, that snowflake stencil. I absolutely love it. I think I've used it on all my layouts this month. And I've added some blue through it. I've used tumbled glass with a blending brush. It's one of my distress inks. And I've got some of those in place. And I'm actually going to come back in a minute and add some pink snowflakes as well to match those acrylic pieces. I've just added some white cardstock behind my photos just to make them a bit more rigid. I find photo paper is quite thin and flimsy, and if I don't back it on anything or add any layers or anything behind it, I find that it kind of like sort of sinks into the page and ends up a bit wavy. So especially if you use wet glue on them. So I've added some white cardstock behind just to make them a bit more rigid, and now I'm adding some craft foam as well, just so I can raise those up and introduce a bit of dimension to the page. So that's my photos stuck in place now, and I'm going to get these branches in. I'm only adding wet glue just to the ends of that kind of main branch and tucking it under. I want the end bits left free so I can kind of fold them up and bend them and bring in some dimension and just make it a bit more realistic. So I'm just sticking those middle bits down. Going to get my title added on top of the leaves on the left there, and I'm just trying to decide where I want these snowflakes to sit. I'm going to pop 2 there. I've layered them up, a lighter coloured one and a darker one, and I'm going to do the same over on the left there, just trying to decide where to pop them, but I think I go for there, just up the left of my title. So as always, I'm using glossy accents to get my perspectives stuck in place. So I've got Cozy Coco stuck on the left there, and I've got that gorgeous little fox. I'm in love with him. I think he's so cute. He's going to go just underneath my title, and then I've got that bear over to the right of my photo. And this is where I decide I want to introduce some pink snowflakes as well to match my acrylic pieces. So I'm using a distress ink in Spun Sugar. It's a really light pink colour, but I felt like it worked really well with that title, the pink shades that I've got in that patterned paper. So I've brought some of those in, and I've pressed slightly harder in some places than others so that it gives it kind of a bit of shading and variation. And I love the look you can achieve with those blending brushes. They're not expensive at all. I got mine from Amazon. I think I got a set of 10 different sizes, but they are perfect for applying ink through stencils, and they wash off of the Bramble Fox stencils really easily as well. So it's really easy to keep your stencils clean. Now take some time fussy cutting this bunny or hare out. He's on ice skates. I thought he worked really well with the page, but I just couldn't find a place for him to sit. He just looked sort of as an afterthought everywhere I put him. So I take the time to cut him out, but he doesn't actually make the layout, bless him. He'll have to go on another one. I have added a banner underneath my photo there that says it's hot chocolate weather, and I've brought that in. Obviously the sentiment works really well with my layout, but I wanted a bit more of the pink on the page as well, so that was perfect. And then on the sticker sheet you get a few mugs of hot chocolates. So again, just sticking those to white cardstock first and cutting them out just to make them a bit more sturdy. And I'm going to get those stuck into place, kind of as if they're cheersing each other, sort of one facing the other, just underneath my title, and kind of staggered at an angle there just to extend things down the page a bit. So I like how this is coming along. I've decided I want to have a few more branches, so I'm just going to take some time to cut some of those again with a metal die, using that darker of the 2 papers, and then I'm going to get those in place. And again, I'm just sticking the sort of very tip of the branch down so that the rest can be left and I can curl those up. And then I'm going to come in with the fun acrylic piece from the December Fox box. I'm just going to have that stuck on top of the branches, kind of mirroring where I've got my title over on the left there. And here I'm just trying to curl back the edge of that patterned paper just to give it a bit more interest and a bit more texture, and it reveals a little bit of the blue that's on the B side of that paper as well. So I've got some tones of blue in the page, so that worked really well. And I'm just trying to decide here if I want to have a little cluster on the bottom right there, because I'm really desperate to get this little grey bunny in. I didn't want to put him over on the left there because I knew he'd get lost on the page, you wouldn't really see him, so I decided to leave him for another layout. And I'm just going to finish up with some splatters here, and I'm using the Spun Sugar Distress ink again, and also the tumbled glass. And then I'm going to water down some white gesso a little bit so that I can splatter that over on the left hand side, just to kind of mimic snow really. It's quite a cold frosty layout, so I wanted to have something to mimic snow. So I'm just going to add my splatters over on the left hand side there, and that is my layout finished for today. So I've got some close-ups on their way, but thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this process and it's given you some inspiration and some ideas of ways to use the items in your December Fox box. Remember, if you are a subscriber, you get a discount to other bits in the store as well. And obviously each Fox box comes with an exclusive item that won't be available in the store. It's only for Fox box subscribers. So another benefit to subscribing, you get that exclusive piece as well. But I'll pop some links in the description box for you to the Fox box sign up page and also to our Bramble Fox Friends Facebook group, where you'll find loads of inspiration. But for now, I'll leave you with the rest of the close-ups. Thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you next time.